Welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host, Derek Stevenson. Unfortunately, we coming live post-game after Kentucky Vanderbilt. Kentucky lost a very winnable game at home. This one was kind of disappointing to me because coming off such a great victory against Auburn, I just expected a better follow-up performance than this. I kind of, I ain't necessarily saying that I expected them to beat Vandy by 40. Martin Robert, what up? Yeah, I hate to say it, but as soon as I seen Casey go out of the game, I said, oh, man, we probably get ready to lose at home to Vandy. And sure enough, we did. The injuries is just we may be able to survive with some of the bench players. Unfortunately, like Severe and C.J. Frederick, we may be able to survive some games without them. But we just can't win without that core group of starters. If they not on the court, we just gonna be in trouble. And the thing is, this was a very winnable game. Like, to me, I feel like I've been good. Martin. I was feeling a little bad last weekend, but I'm good now. I'm good. I'm back at it. But I felt like this was a super winnable game. I felt like Vandy didn't really play a good game. I felt like Kentucky probably should have beat them by like 8 to 11 points, honestly. Tony C, we definitely got to get Casey back. And see, I don't know how this game is going to affect us because I was really banking on us getting this victory at home and that giving us a little cushion so that in case we come up short against Arkansas, we would still be good. So now I don't know, lady bass player, they said Casey had a leg injury. It looked like he twisted his ankle. It looked like he had like a little ankle sprain. And ankle sprains are kind of funny because you don't know how long he could be out. It might heal up decently quick. It might take him a couple weeks. Like, who knows? And we ain't got much time left. It's crucial now. It's March. So, I mean, it's the worst possible time for this to happen. Lady bass player said hit the free throws. Yeah, for sure. I feel like after Vandy's center had an injury, I feel like Kentucky should have taken advantage of that, stepped on Vanderbilt's neck, and they just kept letting Vanderbilt hang around. And then next thing you know, Vanderbilt's winning. I think they went in Vanderbilt was leading at halftime, right? They was up 34-30 at halftime, when really we should have probably been up by 6 at least at halftime. And then we actually outscored them in the second half, but we didn't play good enough defense. We scored 36, and they still scored 34. Tony C said, give Oscar the ball. Oscar was playing good today. The only thing this is, as much as I loved how Oscar played, the one thing that was burning me up the whole entire time I was watching the game was every single time one of the guards for Vandy penetrated, they all scored on Oscar. It's just, for some reason, when Oscar starts moving laterally, he just cannot jump. He can't, he did have one block against one of the time one of Vandy's guards penetrated. He did time a block well. But most of the time, somebody goes to the hole on Oscar, they scoring. And, I mean, it just hurts the team. And sometimes Oscar don't even get up off the floor to even contest. So it's almost like when they actually beat their man, there's just no reinforcement at the rim. And it's almost just like a guaranteed bucket. And that really hurts Kentucky. when people get past. I mean, I know, Casey Wallace is an excellent defender. It's hard to get past him, but when they break down Kentucky from the perimeter, they just get easy shots at the rim, and it just hurts us badly, man. Like, and I mean, like he had an outstanding game. Like, he had 19 and 18, like, but he just gives up too many baskets. And I know it's not necessarily his fault when somebody gets beat off the dribble, but that's just a part of the game, and that happens, and that's why you got to have good help defenders, and he just can't challenge at the rim. So that just kind of sucks. Joseph the horror guy said, so embarrassed. This was definitely embarrassed. I'm probably not gonna be able to look at my phone tonight because I think it's probably gonna be a whole bunch of people trolling me all night. So I'm probably, after I get off here with y'all, I'm probably just gonna play Call of Duty all night until I go to sleep, and just get ready to listen to it in the morning. Martin Roberts said several threes Oscar never contest. Yeah, like he plays the defensive rebound well, but he can't play the pick and roll at all. And then he doesn't know how to help. So he just leaves us vulnerable too much. Question Everything said, it's time for this year to be over. This year is super frustrating. And it's like right now they had us at a 6 seed, which was kind of getting me excited because I'm like, okay, that could be, like, we could work with a 6 seed coming off of a 40-point victory. I was feeling kind of good. And now I just don't know what to feel again, because now I'm like, well, which basketball team are we really? Are we the team that's capable of beating a team by 40? Or are we the team that's capable of losing at home by 30? Like, who knows what type of team this really is? We just haven't been able to get any kind of consistency from these guys the whole entire year. And every single time that I started to get my hopes up with them, then something like this happens. In the very beginning of the season, y'all know I was high on them. I was thinking Final Four, if not national championship. And then we started off against Gonzaga and Michigan State, and it just went downhill from there. And then we had the little spark around the time we beat Tennessee the first time. And I think we ended up, we win like 5 in a row. And I was starting to feel it again. And then, obviously, we went downhill again. Then we came back to Auburn and we looked strong, and I was like, all right, we can make some noise. And then here we are again. So it's just been a roller coaster all season. It's been tough. Question Everything said it's time for a whole new team. Yeah. This has been a frustrating team. I wonder who all is actually going to come back from this team, because, it was senior night, and every single senior was eligible to return. This COVID situation has messed everything up so bad that you got all kinds of players with all of these extra years. I think there was a couple of guys in football I think there might have been a football player that had ended up playing like 6 years or something like that. So this whole COVID situation been kind of crazy. Question Everything said, I wouldn't be surprised if Kaysen can't play until the tournament. That's what I was thinking too. I feel like you just don't know when you, like, from my understanding, when you have an ankle sprain, it's sort of like a partial ligament tear. Correct me if I'm wrong about that, but I think it's a partial ligament tear, right? So you just don't know how long it's going to take to heal. So I could see Kaysen missing, obviously, the Arkansas game. And then right now, I seen a little clip of the SEC tournament bracket, and they had us going up against Alabama. So we probably going to lose to Alabama. Like, we got to just be honest at this point. It would take a miracle for us to beat Alabama. Sometimes miracles do happen, but we would need a miracle to beat them. So the next 2 games, I could definitely see Kaysen missing. And then hopefully, they had us at a 6 seed today. I don't know where we're going to end up, but hopefully we should still at least be in the tournament. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna see Kaysen until that time. Not at all. Joseph the horror guy said Kentucky's women team won their first round SEC tournament. Yeah, I seen that. I might have to go back and look at the highlights, but they beat Florida pretty good, I believe. Didn't they end up beating them by like 20 or something like that? I know it ended up being a crazy fight or something that happened in that game. Like I said, I ain't watch it, but I'm gonna go check the highlights and see what they did. Shouts out to the women's Wildcats for doing their thing. Question Everything said we are cooked against Arkansas. Yeah, I didn't feel great playing against Arkansas. If even if we had Kaysen, I still felt like that could potentially be a loss for us. That's why I felt like the Vandy game was so important to get that one last win we could grab before a tournament play. So I definitely ain't too confident about it right now if Kaysen's not going to be in the game. Martin Roberts said, tough guys can play through that. Kaysen, tough. He be back soon. I hope so. But I don't even necessarily think that he wouldn't try, but I feel like the staff probably would hold him. I think they're going to definitely hold him out against Arkansas because at this point, I don't think, they're going to be too confident about us beating Arkansas. So I think they would rather have him rest and then try. If we play Alabama in the SEC tournament, I personally would rather him rest against Arkansas and be ready for Alabama and then moving forward to the NCAA tournament. But yeah, I believe Kaysen would try. I believe he's one of them type of guys. If they said, can you go? I believe he would say, yeah, even if he didn't feel that great. I believe he would go out there and try. Gary Evans said, we are toast against the Hogs without Kaysen. Yeah. I just hope it ain't too bad. Like I hope they don't get embarrassed so badly that it destroys their confidence completely against Alabama. If they can play sort of a good game and quote unquote have a decent performance against Arkansas, then that would give me a little bit more confidence going against Alabama because Alabama, I don't want them to get blown out by Arkansas and then get blown out by Alabama after losing the winnable game to Vandy and be on a 3-game losing streak going into the tournament. Like, I don't want that to happen. At least if we play a couple of close games, they can at least probably feel a little confident. But if they get blown out 2 games in a row, it's going to probably be bad. Question Everything said this team is like a yo-yo this year. No, it really is. I mean, that's an excellent way to put it because it's like we up, we down, we up, we down. Like that's how it's been the whole entire season. It's been a trying season as a fan. We all been hanging in there. We still supporting, we still rooting for the guys, and they had some moments where they looked real good. They was looking scary. They was looking like one of them teams that was getting ready to get in the tournament and make some noise, and then this happens. And now I don't really know what to think of them right now. Joseph the horror guy said, we ain't winning no NCAA championship this season, maybe next season. Unfortunately, next season we're going to probably have a way better chance. I don't think they can really make too much noise in this tournament. I think it's just too many teams that can beat them. It's not been a whole lot of consistency in college basketball in general this year. Everybody's kind of had a season sort of close to this. Everybody's had some disappointing moments, it seems like. You have a couple of teams that's, hovered in the top 5, top 10 the majority of the season, but everybody's kind of had some of those ugly losses. Everybody's had to deal with that. It's been a struggle. But the most disappointing part of it is that I just thought Kentucky was going to be so much better. Like, if I would have went in knowing they was going to be this type of team, it would have been a little bit easier to deal with. But I seriously thought that we was going to the Final Four. Like, I thought we was going to be back this year. I really believed that they had the pieces to win the national championship. Like, I'm just being honest with y'all. I really thought when they started out preseason, what was that, preseason number 4? I thought that was an accurate, accurate preseason ranking. And I thought they would, float around that top 10 all season. I knew the SEC was going to be tough. I knew they had a hard schedule. So I'm not going to sit there and think and say that I thought they would be like ranked number 1 all year. I knew they would take some L's, but I just thought, a lot of these winnable games against some of these teams like South Carolina, Missouri, Vanderbilt, I even thought we would get Michigan State, to be honest with you. So they just had a whole bunch of games that I just thought they would not lose, Obviously, I felt like there was teams on the schedule that could definitely get them. I thought Gonzaga was one of those teams that could get them. I didn't think they would blow them out, but I thought they could get them. So it's just been super disappointing, the ups and the downs. But yeah, I feel like when I was watching the game, I feel like around the 9-minute mark, I think that might have been where they lost the game at, because if I remember correctly, they did like 3 or 4 bad plays in a row. Like I think they turned the ball over twice. They didn't get back on defense maybe once or twice. And it was like they just gave Vandy a spark, and that's the moments that could have closed the gap and extended a lead on them. And when you just make, like, I know one of the plays I remember correctly, it was Chris Livingston. He had the ball on the right side of the court, sort of close to half court, and he was just trying to get the ball out of his hands, and he rushed, and he threw it to whoever it was. It might have been Reeves or somebody that was standing right at the top of the key at half court. And he didn't really even look to see where the defense was. And he just threw the pass to just get it out of his hands. And then dude jumps in, intercepts it, and he's gone, the other way. And it just hurt him. Then a dude Thero, he had one of the plays. And what I think has happened to Adu Thero is I think that he finally has played enough minutes now where he's finally going through his transition of playing like a robot now. He's playing like the beginning of the season Chris Livingston now. Because, in the beginning of the season when he wasn't really getting to play that much, he seemed a whole lot more aggressive. He seemed like he had no fear. He would take his shots when he was open. But now I feel like when he's out there, he's playing not to make mistakes now. And I think that's why he turned the ball over, just standing there dribbling it. Like, he's just standing there. He's not even going anywhere. He's not making the basketball move. He's just standing there, and he decides to try to dribble between his legs, not to even cross over and move, but just waiting on Oscar to get in position. And that old robotic basketball, he's just focused, tunnel vision on getting it to Oscar, and dribbles it off his leg, and they get a steal, or they get a turnover. I think it went out of bounds, turned it over. But it was just a few little plays right there in a row around the 9-minute mark, and that's where I feel like they messed everything up. Drew B. Rant said, "I now view Kentucky basketball as a product. Never thought I would ever say that. And if the product sucks, I won't give them my money or my time. I'm out. Maybe we'll be good next year." Excuse me. Drew B, I understand. I get where you coming from. I'm still going to watch. I'm still going to hang in there. But I definitely understand where you coming from. But make sure you tune in next year. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to see what our new cats can do. But, I get where you coming from. Horror Guy said, "I still love these cats, and win or lose, I still will support them." Me too. I'm mad at them right now. They shouldn't have lost to Vandy, but I'm still going to hang in there with them. Dice Gilbert, we here watching on my phone and tablet, At least Bama in a dogfight with Auburn. Dice, it was wild, man. It was unfortunate. I hated to see us lose to Vandy because it was such a winnable game. Vandy actually played bad, to be honest, and we just let them off the hook. But no, I didn't know that Bama was in the dogfight with Auburn. I might have to turn that on when I get off of here. It would be nice. I would love to see Bama take one more L before we go into the tournament. So I'll probably check that out right after this. Martin Roberts said we can still make a big run in March, but Kaysen got to get well. Yeah, we ain't going to do nothing unless Kaysen's well. But I just feel like we had a great opportunity because, to the type of season that we had, to still think that we could possibly get the 6th seed. I was kind of excited about that. But I know they're going to drop us down now. And we're going to end up having 3 losses in a row probably because now we got this one. Probably going to get spanked by Arkansas. And then if we got to play Alabama in the first round of the SEC tournament, that's going to be another one. So we're going to go into the tournament with 3 losses in a row. So I have no idea where we're going to end up being seated now. Lady bass player, UK missed 10 free throws. And you know what? The last couple of games that they won, they've been really good about hitting their free throws, especially hitting them in late game situation. I was really proud of them the way they was, they done closed a couple of games out this season by making their free throws. So it was a little disappointing to see them, because those are the easy ones. And I know Chris Livingston missed one that I remember, and I was thinking like, man, he shoots like 86% from the line, I think. I don't know if he still does, but a couple of games ago, he was shooting like 86% from the line. So maybe he's just tired now. Maybe in the beginning of the season, he wasn't playing as much. So he probably wasn't as wore down. Now he's playing a lot. So maybe he just, maybe he's getting tired at the end of the games. And that's probably what caused him. Straight Facts said the defense and the free throws killed us. Yes, it did. The defense was bad because if you really look at Vanderbilt's team, they don't really got no super scores like that for real. They just had, I know Tyron Lawrence ended up with 21 points, but I don't know. I just feel like they got a whole bunch of guys that you could hold in check, and we just couldn't. Like I said earlier, pretty much if you get around, if you break down the lane, Kentucky has no second line defense. It's over. You get in the bucket. Dice Gilbert said people done changed their tune about Severe. Yeah, we as much as Severe drives people crazy, they still do need Severe because like Cason Wallace goes down tonight. Severe Wheeler probably could have helped because we had 3 guys handling the ball that really don't need to be doing too much ball handling out in the floor. We had Chris Livingston, we had CJ Frederick, and then Antonio Reeves doing way more ball handling than they probably should have been doing. And the thing about it is, if you got Antonio Reeves playing point guard, you're not really going to be able to utilize him in the offense as well because now he's not going to really be able to be ready to like come around some screens and you know what I'm saying? So it just kind of takes him out of his best situation to be productive. So he needs a ball handler so he can play off the ball. And the same with Frederick and the same with Livingston. They just not really ball handlers and facilitators. So it would have been nice to have Severe tonight. Joseph the hard guy said, well, I'm getting off. Let's just beat Arkansas. Joseph, you take it easy. Have a great night. We'll get back at you after the Arkansas game. Hopefully we'll get them, but you never know. Straight Facts said, if Cason don't come back, this team is done. Looked a lot like the South Carolina game. Yeah, they it sucked because they just got back in the top 25. Like you said, they 23, and now they going right back out of there. So, It is what it is, but we'll see. Drewby Rants, I used to literally schedule everything in my life around UK basketball. My birthday is March 31st, and I remember being so happy when we beat Louisville in the Final Four in 2012. Yeah, I remember I was watching that at this restaurant that was in Lexington at the time called Show Me's, right? And it was basically like a competitor to Hooters. But it was super lit in there. I mean, it was crazy. I'll never forget it. Like, as far as like a restaurant vibe, like that's probably one of the best ones I've ever been in. Like, everybody in there, it was just a sea of blue. Everybody was going crazy. One of my best friends, he's a Louisville fan, so he was with me. So it was like him and probably like 3 Louisville fans in the whole place. So it was beautiful. Like, it was a great game. Dice Gilbert, Auburn selling grams. 80 to 85 Bama with 2 minutes left in overtime. Oh man. Auburn probably they probably done. But it's crazy to see that after what we did to Auburn, that they can even be in a game with Alabama. That's the crazy thing about the SEC this year. The SEC just been so wildly unpredictable. Like, of course, Alabama's been the best team for sure. But you would think after what we did to Auburn that they wouldn't even be able to even play with Alabama. But, I guess that's just how it goes sometimes. People step up for certain games, certain rivalries, get people up, get people fired up. Brian Little said, we got to make our free throws. Absolutely, we do. And like I was saying earlier, that's one of the things that I hadn't had to worry about, over the last couple of games. They've been making their free throws. They even iced a couple of games, putting it away at the end of the game, hitting their free throws. So they definitely, I don't know what happened to them boys. They fell apart. But like I said, I think when Casey went out, I think they just lost focus. Because they just made too many mental errors. They went back to doing stupid stuff. Like, I know y'all probably remember the one play where Frederick had the ball on the left side of the court and he pulled up a 3 in transition. But it was kind of one of them plays where it's like, if you hit it, we good to go. But when he missed it, everybody's still running forward. And then Vanderbilt got the rebound and we had nobody to defend. And then they just shooting down the court. And I think they got a fast break bucket off of it or something like that. They either got a transition bucket or a transition foul, something like that. But we just did a couple of things like that really hurt us. We gave up some easy baskets. Like I said, around that 8-minute mark, we did like 4 stupid plays in a row. And that's the moment we could have took the game. And we could have basically, kind of put our foots on Vandy a little bit. And we just wasn't locked in, wasn't mentally focused. People was getting tunnel vision again. They wasn't seeing the whole court. They wasn't anticipating what was going to happen, and they just started doing, dumb stuff. But that's just the way it goes with this team. Let me see how many free throws they actually did miss. Let's see here. Let me see. Free throw percentage was 71. It should have been better. And I just didn't even realize it, but they shot 15% from 3. Wow. That's crazy right there. 15%. They had 11 turnovers. They actually rebounded pretty good. They had 45 rebounds, but them 11 turnovers, shooting so bad from free throw and 3-point, that's just going to get you killed. Antonio Reeves still ended up having 14 points, but he was 1 for 8 from 3. He got to do better than that. Frederick was 1 for 4. So, we got 2 of our best shooters shooting under 25% from 3. Like, that's crazy. It's not good. Chris Livingston was 1 for 2, but he only ended up with 8 points. He had 7 boards, but top in the he had a mediocre game, 7 and 10, but he missed all his threes. Everybody shot bad though, except Oscar. He was 5 for 10, but Toppin was 1 for 7. Wallace was 2 for 7. Reeves 4 for 17. Frederick 2 for 7. Livingston 3 for 7. That ain't too bad, but y'all get what I'm saying though. Everybody just they just didn't bring it tonight, and they lost a very winnable game. They definitely should have got this. But anyways, yeah, I guess I'm gonna go on and wrap it up, man. Like I said, I'm turning my phone off tonight because I'm not trying to hear from the trolls. This was a super disappointing one for me. I feel like we should have had Vandy, and now hopefully we got to just put up a good showing against Arkansas and Bama. And unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to do it without Kaysen. We'll see. But anyways, I'll talk to y'all next time. Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson. Y'all have a good night. I'll see you later.